DeMarco.
Hey.
We are live.
DeMarco, you want to do the sound test tonight since Marcus isn't here?
Oh. What's it again?
You can do your own sound test. You don't have to
thank you. I'll just make something. Ron, like you couldn't have told me this a couple of minutes ago when I could.
Well, we like to be spontaneous here. So,
why, Rick? 1-2 over? Is that it? Yeah.
We got it.
Right, I wasn't born yet for that one. So
yeah, we'll have to get you some repeats of that old TV show sometime. Okay, so are we
breaker, good buddy?
Are we ready to start the show, DeMarco?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, and welcome into DroneNation for September 15th, 2025. This is the Mavic, the Mini 5 Pro pregame show here in the football terms here. This is a show you've all been waiting for months, probably years or whatever. The most anticipated drone maybe ever in the history of drones. We're going to talk about tonight. We're going to give you all the skinny, all the details, and then you'll wake up Wednesday morning with the DroneNation crew, and we will kind of take it all in when DJI actually lets the cat out of the bag. But before we get down to drone business, this is a big football night here. This is a doubleheader football night here. And DeMarco, of course, is back with his fearless Monday Night Forecast. And now last week, we regret to say that DeMarco picked the hometown Bears, and the Bears were winning that game the whole way. They were ahead first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, things kind of went awry there, and they wound up losing it. Who'd they lose to, DeMarco? The Lions?
No, the Vikings.
They lost the Vikings at the very end. The Vikings quarterback, who didn't do anything the whole game, all of a sudden started hitting all these passes, J.J. McCarthy, whatever. But we started out 0-1, but we're going to go on a roll tonight. And here's your two games for the doubleheader tonight. The first game, which is going on right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a record of 1-0 face the Houston Texans with a record of 0-1. Now, Houston is giving up 2.5 points at home. How do you see that game coming out, DeMarco?
Oh, I have not made my pick yet because I've been busy all day. But I think I'm going to go with the.
Sounds fishy to me.
Houston Texans.
Oh,
sorry, Ray. Sorry, Ray.
Well, they are the favorite. They are favored. They're giving up 2.5 points. So
sorry, Bill.
He's going favorite. We got Bill here. You want to make a guest pick here, Bill?
I'm making a guest pick. Baker Mayfield, my man with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm telling you, since Brady left, I've been real excited when they got Mayfield, and I love their head coach, Tampa's head coach. The guy is just full of fire. I like him, and he's passionate. They'll beat the Texans tonight.
I believe Tampa Bay's up 14-10 in the third quarter. So
there you
a lot
go.
of football will be played in that one.
There you go.
14-10. Tampa. 14.
Well, at
10,
least nobody will miss a punt like the Steelers did yesterday. Good.
Well, we're going to save Steeler Nation for tomorrow night, right,
yes,
Bill?
We'll be talking about that tomorrow night. And there's be a lot of weeping. Just be prepared for some weeping and gnashing of teeth tomorrow night when we talk about that.
Unfortunately, the Steelers don't get to play the Jets every week, Bill.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
They'd be 16-0 if they did.
There you go. On to the second game, the late game tonight. We have the LA Chargers with a record of 1-0 versus the LA Raiders with a record of 0-1. The Chargers, they're given 3.5 points on the road, so the LA is a 3.5 point favorite on the road. DeMarco, how do you see this game coming out? These are old-time rivals here.
You know what, Ron? Here, I'll tell you what. This will be the first. I have put zero thought into that game, so I'll let you pick. Guest pick tonight, Ron. Go ahead and pick.
Me pick?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm going with the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers all the way in this thing. Bill, how about you?
Oh, gosh. Chargers 100%. The Raiders? Seriously?
Hey.
Wow. Raiders are just like, you can smell how bad they are from 1,000 miles away, okay?
I said that about the Vikings last week, and look what happened.
Wow. I know. Raiders, no way.
Chris Hope says the Raiders.
And Bill, I hope to see Najee Harris get a few more carries tonight.
Oh yeah, he will. They'll be fine. Chargers will be fine against them. They won't have any problems.
Okay, we heard it here first. Okay,
that's
folks,
right.
Football talk is over. No more football until Steeler Nation tomorrow night, late in the show or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah. So let's jump right into the. It's no use messing around. I don't have a bunch of little stories tonight. We're going to jump right into it here. Let me get my graphic up here. I should have got this graphic up when we're doing the football picks. I got to get the. This is the graphic of the night, guys. If I can actually find it here. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here you go, guys.
There we
go.
go.
Let me.
Oh,
there we go. This appeared this morning. This appeared on many places this morning. The Pro and Mini. We've been debating for the last couple of weeks whether it's going to be released on the 16th, 17th, or 18th. So today we get it. What's the old expression? Get it straight from the horse's mouth. There, DJI says the 17th, which is Wednesday at 8 a.m. And this little graphic here appeared at every DJI website except for one, guys. The U.S.
one. The United States.
Yeah. You can see this in any other country. And this is actually from Jasper, our good friend Jasper Ellens out there on Twitter put this up, but you will not see this on our U.S. Website here. But it is finally official here, and reactions around the room. I'm actually gonna go to Johnny first. Johnny, what was your reaction when you saw this morning?
Well, man, it was a lot of information about it coming out, but yeah, I'm excited about it. It looks like it's got some great features. It almost looks like a Air 3S squeezed into a mini drone. And man, you know what? Reading some of the specs, and I know you're gonna go over them. And it looks awesome. And
it's the best looking Mini they've ever put out there, Johnny. Now, is it true, Johnny, when Marcus went on his Mediterranean cruise, he left his buy button behind back home for you?
Yeah, he gave me permission to buy it for him. If he can't pick one up in Spain, he's gonna text me. Now, I'll tell you, I know. Hey, if Marcus can grab one, he will. I can tell you that. I mean, he may be able to pick one up.
But what did he bring with him? You were the first person in the U.S. to order the Mini 5 Pro.
I don't know about that. I went on eBay this morning, and as you know with eBay, because y'all ordered the Mavic 4, there's a bunch of sellers already. Of course, it's a pre-order, and it says be shipped in a couple of days after they receive it. So I did order one. I did order one at a great price, but the same seller had a couple prices, and that's not unusual on eBay. And I picked mine up for $1,100 plus tax. It was $1,215 out the door. And everybody's asking me about tariffs. I don't know it. There's a disclaimer, and the best I can calculate, it could be about a 15%. And so far in the drone community, I don't really know anybody that's paid a tariff. I know a lot of times the seller has been eating that even from South Korea and Japan. So I don't know, but out the door price for me is $1,215. And if I got to pay some tariff, and there's a guy in Miami, Ron, we were looking through it. You can pay $2,000. You're going to pay sales tax, so that would be $2,200. I mean, so that's almost $1,000 savings for me just to order from somebody in the U.S. who was ordering it from South Korea or Japan, just like I did. So,
now, Johnny, which bundle did you order?
The Flymore. I did order the Flymore. Yes,
with the RC2 and all.
Yes, it does come with the RC2.
Yeah.
And if you already got an RC2, I mean, you could sell the RC2, and pick up a few dollars. So.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I saw out there, and I did do some looking. The one seller who some people have bought the Mavic 4 Pro Creator Combo off of is from South Korea. He will absorb the tariffs, and he says so in the listing. So, but he doesn't currently have anything listed right now. I was out on eBay to take a look at it. Now, who Johnny bought off of, he doesn't have any more.
Bill, can I stop you just for a second? There's the little blue label that appears when you try to order the Mini 5 Pro on eBay. That little blue label telling you that due to U.S. policies, import fees or this item could be paid for customs shipping, carrier deliveries. That appears whenever you go to look.
That disclaimer was was not on there early. It was later, and then they took it off. Now it's back on. So I think they're just covering it. But you can see somebody here, JAA. I bought a DJI Mavic 4 Creator combo from Japan Wednesday and got it today. So
no tariff.
Okay.
You know, hey, I'd rather take a shot at ordering it for what I'd rather take a shot at ordering it for what I paid for it. I mean, it's actually cheaper than the Mini 4 Pro. What I'm actually paying for the Mini 5 Pro. So.
Yeah, true. DeMarco, your thoughts on the Mini 5 Pro?
Thoughts are that I can't wait to see Johnny's videos, and I can't wait to see whoever's by the videos. I'm not getting it until it's here. Then I'll think about it though. So I know it could be a couple of years before it's actually here. So, but no, I mean, from what people are saying about it, though, it looks good. But I'm not going to pay more than what I would normally pay. So
no, it's cheaper. It's cheaper than what you would pay.
Yeah. Yeah. If Johnny doesn't get hit by,
I
don't
pay taxes, John.
You don't pay what? The tax?
Taxes, yeah.
Oh, well, you're gonna pay it on eBay, and so.
Yeah, I'm good though. I'm good, dog. Hey, hurry and get it. Here, get so I can see the videos.
Bill, I cut you off. What, complete your thoughts on the.
Well, yeah, I'll complete my thoughts here. First of all, that one seller, his name, he has DW in there from South Korea. He has embedded in the title and also in the listing that he absorbs the tariff costs, and he's the only one that I found that does that. Now, I know a lot of people bought the Mavic 4 Pro Creator Combo off of him, and I have my eye, and I've already messaged him on eBay to ask him if he's going to be offering the Mini 5 Pro, because that's first of all where I will go to try to find it and buy it, because if he absorbs the cost, then he does that. Then I'm going to look at some of the others from like Japan and South Korea, and you got to balance. And one of the things I want to tell people to be real careful about, okay, you not only do you want to look for price, you want to look at also at their rating, but also too, you want to find out how long it will take to ship, because some of those will have, eBay will allow you, I think, up to 3 days before the seller has to ship something. So you want to take a look at that, because I went ahead already and some of the ones that have them listed out there, and I haven't gotten replies back, because remember, it's their night when I was emailing them during the day today. Yeah. I went ahead and I asked them, I said, as far as shipping is concerned, because I know, some of these, they may not get them until X date, and it will be another X number of days before they ship, kind of a thing. I want to get specific on that, because if I'm going to go ahead and send them my money, I want to make sure, and I want to understand when I can reasonably expect that back there. So be aware of these things when you go on to eBay to do this. This isn't like ordering from Amazon or DJI or any of the big box stores here in the United States. You got to be real careful with this, because a lot of them, they're in Japan, they're in South Korea. But what's real interesting was I went out for grins and giggles looking at the RC Pro 2 controllers, okay? There's almost none available in South Korea, but they're available in China. And guess what? There's no tariff on them in China. Go figure that out. Okay, that's for the RC Pro 2 controller. I can't figure that one out. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and get one. I just don't know where yet. I'm going to be keeping an eye out and see and taking a look at see. I'm going to do that like before I go to bed tonight to see if any of them are available, especially if that DW one, and then I'll go ahead and purchase it. So
the guy from Miami says,
look at Tom's comment he just put up for you. DW is not listing until release. They only took 4 days door to door. There was receive it. He got the Mavic 4
Okay,
Pro
thanks, Tom.
He said, but
thanks, Tom. I appreciate that.
And Bill or anybody in town, do you think you can help copywriting here? He says, do you think we will start seeing review videos tomorrow, or will DJI force influencers to keep it under wraps until the launch date on the 17th?
17th for sure, because they probably have NDAs. If they have NDAs, they hold them to the fire for that. So
yeah, I would
absolutely.
Agree.
Well, what I think my copywriter's answering this question is, according to a lot of stuff Jasper puts up, that so it was the 16th at one point.
Right.
So
And
what
they
he's
moved it
saying
to the
is maybe
17th.
they
Now, you
signed
got to
NDAs for
remember,
the 16th.
One of the things also,
Possibly.
too,
Anyhow,
is
what's confusing is DJI. It seems like DJI's changed the date here on the release of this. So, okay, another thought here, guys, is I was talking to Johnny about this today. Of course, we only see them offering so far. The early people have only offered the Fly More combo with the RC2, but we know there's going to be other bundles too. And my thought was in my head, okay, we've already heard that the batteries are compatible with the batteries of the Mini 4, which means they're also compatible with the Mini 3, that I would just order the base kit, and get the $800 base kit with the standard controller, because I already have the RC2 and of course the RC Pro 2 controller that I work with it. So I wanted, but it doesn't seem like the base kit or the mid kit with the RC N3 controller, they're not. Nobody's taking pre-orders on them yet.
That's pretty standard. Usually, when they first come out, you can't usually get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say, if you're going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this, you probably want to get the Fly More kit with the RC2. And the reason that I say that is, let's say down the road, 3 years, 4 years down the road, you want to get upgrade this. When you go to sell it, it's going to be a whole lot easier to sell it with an RC2 and 3 batteries than it will be to sell it with the base controller. It will be a big help for you to do that.
Well, two things, Bill. If this DJI drone ban stays in effect, you won't want to sell it 3 years down the road.
That's probably
and number
true.
Number two, I find the opposite. Whenever I try to resell something on like marketplace, whatever, the more stuff you add to it, like if you try to sell a whole bunch of extra stuff with the drone, the first 9 out of the first 10 questions are, how much is it just for the drone? How much is it just for a drone? That's the most requested. Nobody ever asked me, do you have any other extras you can pack in with that? People are always looking for the base package whenever I'm trying to sell a drone. So,
the cases too. I mean, like when I've sold drones, people don't even care about the case.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Is my internet slow tonight? Is it?
Yeah, you're freezing just a little bit, Ron.
Yeah.
Joseph JAA had a great question there about where do you suggest I get insurance for our drones we buy from other countries? That's a great question, Joseph. One of the things I can answer for you is a lot of times on eBay, I know now Allstate has insurance that they I just recently bought a laptop on eBay, and it was covered. I got a 2-year policy from Allstate for like $125, and it's wall to wall, covers everything.
It was
and in a lot of
$89.
instances, those are covered as well too. So look at that during checkout and see if that option is available. That would be something I would suggest. But I did hear, and several people have said, that State Farm is going to go ahead. They went ahead and they covered Mavic 4 Pro creator combos purchased overseas. I did see that out there.
That varies from person to person. Mike Wright, last time I talked to him, they still hadn't improved his, so that varies to whoever you talk to. Hey, Tom agrees with me here. Slow here. He says, same here, Ron. I want a drone only package. I already have 2 RC2 controllers, RC2 Pro, whatever. And here, I'm going to say this right off the top, that we're going to get all these questions in the next couple of days, Bill, Johnny, DeMarco. When is no controller or anything, whatever? When's that going to be available? That will not be available on release day, and that will not be available, the drone only, for a long, long time.
Yeah, I would say you're probably looking at least 2, if not 3 months before something like that's going to be available. Because what they do is when they make these units, and in terms of marketing capabilities, the full on Fly More combo set is what they probably have made like 9 out of 10, or maybe even higher than that percentage wise for right now. They probably haven't made any of the singles by itself. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's probably not going to be for a couple of months down the road. And they do that on purpose. Okay. That's something that's done on purpose. So people like Tom that want to get the drone only, he's going to have to wait if you want to do something like that, because
just sell the RC2 controller. You can easily sell it,
Yeah, the RC2, and if all that, that makes perfect sense. And I understand what he's saying, and I understand what Ron's saying as far as that's concerned. But you're going to have to wait to do something like that. So, versus something, for me, I don't have any Mini. I don't have it currently. I sold my Mini 4 Pro a year ago, so I'm good to go to get a Flymore kit. And for that kind of a price, and one of the things that I want to talk about for a second, if I can, is the price on that for $11.59. I think that's a steal. Okay, because of the significant leap in technology that this is taking from the Mini 4 Pro to the Mini 5 Pro. I mean, this is almost in like, I think I don't know if Johnny said or DeMarco said, it's like an Air 3 in a compressed package, and it really is. I mean, you are getting so much with this drone, and no wonder why it's probably one of the most anticipated consumer drones that DJI's ever put out, because of all the feature set that is on here is absolutely off the charts. It really is.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that in just a second. Bill, while we're talking about pricing, let's expand this conversation. So this is Jasper Ellen's, leak here in Drone XL, and these are kind of the European dollars here. But he has the Mini 5 standard package. That's with the RC N3 controller and one battery, going for $819. So, and he has the Mini 5 Flymore combo with the RC N3 controller, the one without screen, for $1029, and of course the Flymore combo for $1159. These won't be exact prices that maybe we'll pay. There is no U.S. pricing anymore because they're not available in the U.S. But so basically, we'll say around about $800 for standard combo, and about say $1050 for a Flymore with a standard controller, and $1159, $1199 for the RCA2. Bill, you brought pricing. These prices are only a little step up from the Mini 4 Pro. I think the Mini 4 Pro was like $759, $769 for the base kit. So this isn't much of a bump up, Bill.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe $75 to $100 on each one of these in terms of actual cost. And for what you're getting, that's incredible. That really is.
Johnny, you thought the pricing was pretty sharp on these?
Yeah, I did. A lot of people were saying. I said $1,200. I don't know, just 3 or 4 months ago. But because since the Avata 2 came out, the drones have actually almost come down or stayed nearly the same price from every drone since the Avata 2 release, including of course the Neo was new and the Flip. But all those drones have not went up much at all.
Now, DeMarco, I know you were concerned about taxing and tariffs or whatever, but not taking anything in that consideration. These prices are pretty competitive with recent releases. Though, what you think? Or would you agree?
Like when I say that, I'm saying it from my perspective as far as needing a drone. I'm all good. I mean, so I'm not even considering buying this, jumping through hoops to buy it anyway. Even buying it too.
Yeah,
I haven't had something new in since the Mini 3, so I'm good.
Wow.
I'm good.
Wow. You're good.
Yeah.
So, okay. Let me go over here a little bit, move it up here. We talked about this a little bit in the pre-show, guys. There's over the weekend, we saw some unboxings. There was a channel out of India. I think it was called Gadget something. And they leaked they published an unboxing video of the Mini 5 Pro Flymore combo, where that didn't even stay up 24 hours, and they were asked to take it down. But people have made copies of it, so it's still out there all over the place on other people's channels that they had recorded or whatever. Did anybody in the panel get a chance to look at that unboxing from India?
I did not see it.
No.
Yeah, it was in Hindi. I saw it. You couldn't, obviously you had to silence it because I watched it. It was a typical unboxing video. I mean, it really, I mean,
except for the guy was out in the street in India. He wasn't even like for a lot of it, he's standing in the street.
Yeah, I mean that was that seemed a little much, but it was I like the unboxing videos where somebody's standing there, with the overhead view and you get to see everything and, but yeah. And I wonder how in the world did he get that? I mean, that's just, wow. Because he's probably obviously not an influencer.
He probably went into India version of Best Buy and some new guy sold to him.
Probably.
He got the same place Eddie Nunez gets his early. You know?
Yeah.
Well, Eddie has the scoop and the insight into everything. Okay, he really does.
Yeah.
Well, I'm having a chat with him right now because we're talking about the Phantom 5 Pro coming out real soon.
Okay.
There's one to keep your eye on, folks.
Yeah, that's the one. Now they have Jasper also Drone XL released some kind of high quality photos of it here, showing how you do the Connect the Fly app to the drone, just like you could with the Mini 4, and then somebody flying it with a standard controller down there. So of course the pictures get better with every round of leaks here. Let me go to talk about the unboxing here. Here's some the release dates. So here's some specs here. I'm just going to go back and kind of highlight some of the specs that we've heard a lot of these, but this is kind of short up here. We know it's going to have 4K 16 HDR and 4K 120 frames per second non-HDR, a gimbal rotation of 225 true vertical. So we're used to true vertical on the Mini 4. Flight time up to 36 minutes with the smart battery and 52 with the plus battery. Oh. So that 52 with that plus battery is really going to be something. Lidar detection, omnidirectional vision, CO certification by default for the UK. And here's some stuff here we haven't heard before. 50 megapixel 1-inch CMOS sensor and a f1.8 aperture for better low light performance. So any reactions to the 50 megapixel photos coming out of that 1-inch sensor?
I need to see that. I mean, well, obviously I'm getting it, but I need to see an example of what that looks like, because a lot of times when they talk about something like with a high megapixel density, okay, it sounds great, but until you actually see a picture from it, you really don't know. And you really don't know because of the settings and everything with light and how all that plays out. So I gotta see a 50 megapixel picture.
I believe the Air 3S claims 50 megapixel photos also, doesn't it?
Yeah, you see, one of the things, and I gotta say this, I'm guilty of it. All right, beyond the first week of having my drone, I rarely shoot stills. Okay, and when I publish a still, I just do a screenshot out there. Seriously, I don't really take a lot of stills. I'll do the hyperlapses like crazy, but I don't take a lot of stills, and that's just I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I
think that's very common. I think that's very common, Bill.
Yeah.
Okay. So and now also in that 4K 60 with HDR video, it has up to 14 stops of dynamic range in auto mode. So I mean, I don't know what the Mini 4 had, but that's pretty competitive with the Air 3S, and I think for a benchmark, I think the Mavic 4 Pro has 17 stops of dynamic range. So 14 is pretty impressive. And for anybody that doesn't know what the dynamic range, it means the ability to catch the shadows and the highlights or whatever, and not have one or the other blown out, which typically happens at sunrise, sunset, that type of situation. So
I think, Ron, one of the ones I want to come back to that you talked about already is 250 degrees of view. Okay, that's pretty impressive. Okay, I don't know what the Mini 4 Pro was.
I said 225. I said 225 gimbal rotation, true vertical. I don't think I mentioned anything about field of view yet. Do I have that here? I don't know. But if you want to talk about field of view, Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know, but I gotta think it's going to be better than the Mini 5 Pros, and you're going to have a nice field of view with this, obviously, because it's going to have the vertical shooting in here again with that. So, but one of the things, and we haven't talked about it yet, and I know you probably want to save this for a little later, is I think probably the question everybody's asking, but there's been no information on it, is the Mini 5 Pro going to work with the RC2 Pro? I mean, I think that's something, I know all you guys out there, and that's one of my questions as well. It's not going to prevent me from getting it, but that's something I'm kind of dying to know. Is it gonna work with it?
It shouldn't it? I mean,
I would think so.
Yeah.
It's going to work with the Air 3S. It's going to work with, obviously works with the Mavic 4 Pro. why not? I mean, it's going to have the right OcuSync, so I don't see why it won't work.
I think it
really
will
don't.
absolutely work with it. I mean,
Yeah, but I see your point, Bill. We've got no 100% confirmation.
You would think, and Jasper really has a real good insight. And I got to say this, he's one of the best leakers we've had ever by far. Okay.
Yeah.
And he hasn't said anything about that yet. And I just find it really curious and odd because, they made such a big deal about the RC Pro 2 with the Mavic 4 Pro and talked about its compatibility, but then it stops there and he doesn't say anything with the Mini 5 Pro. I mean, we're finding out everything, the kitchen sink, and then some with the Mini 5 Pro, but we're not finding out about that. And, that's like Ron and I said, I think the drone community will really kind of throw up its arms if it doesn't work with it. But I mean,
well, we're gonna find out, Bill, sometime, not tonight, maybe not even like tomorrow or early today, but at some point the RC2 will definitely get a firmware update allowing it to work with the
exactly. That'll be our clue.
When you see that come on the RC2, if you have an RC Pro, immediately grab it and see if it gets the same firmware update.
Yeah. That's going to be the big clue is when that firmware update comes out, then you'll know that it's going to happen. And I think that's probably what people are kind of waiting for. So, but yeah, I mean, that's a question I think that really a lot of us have. And, we're on pins and needles to find out. Well, we'll also find out too, come Wednesday when review videos come out, because I'm sure somebody's going to do a review video of a Mini 5 Pro with the RC Pro 2. So I would think so.
Yeah. A lot of the big channels, especially non-US ones, they all have the RC Pro 2 controller, so they'll tell you right in the first day. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would expect that.
Yeah. Unless they were told not to tell you that because of the firmware update or whatever, but
that's true.
We'll see.
But chances are,
Bill, can I get back to what you said a little bit earlier about the field of view? I've already got rid of the screen because I like to get rid of the screens what they show. But when they show that close up of the Mini 5 Pro and the lens there, that little thing beside the 1.8 aperture, it probably told you the field of view, but I've already got knocked that away. So that number, either above or below the 1.8, is usually the field of view. And normally these drones, I think, get a 24 millimeter field of view. And what was different about the Mavic 4 Pro is it got a 28, so it wasn't as wide as the typical 24 field of view on these drones, especially these mini drones. So, yeah,
that's interesting.
Here's another thing here. Some rumors a week or so ago said it had 12-bit recording, but here it says 10-bit H.265. It's using D-Log-M and HLG modes, just like these. There's no news. All that the same numbers that are on the Mini 4 Pro. But there was some wild rumors about a 12-bit or whatever, which is kind of unusual, And of course, it has nightscape, omnidirectional, with the LiDAR. So, it'll be, better at night here. 10-bit video transmission in SEC mode. I don't know if this is telling us what it's going to be like back to the controller, but I imagine that would maybe be improved on what we already have. But here's some things I was talking about Johnny before the show, and I keep going away from the screens here. We've heard about this for a long time, Bill, but here it is here. With a 2x zoom, then this is the mid-tele mode. With a 2x zoom, the new 48 millimeter medium tele mode now offers a higher image resolution in the digital zoom of the previous DJI Mini Pro series. The subjects stand out on greater texture, which adds depth to your aerial shots. I mean, this is a big deal for me, Bill. To me now, the thing holding minis back is I'm used to having that 3x tele on the Air 3S, and now I have the 3x tele on the Mavic 4 Pro. So when I want to get in tight, I can get in, with 100% quality. Where in the Mini, I had to zoom in and lose quality. Where this sounds like this is going to be a nice kind of workaround to get you close.
It's going to be close. It's going to be real close to to like the Air 3S, and it's going to be kind of close to the Mavic 4 Pro in terms of that. And I agree, Ron. You know, that was one of my things with the Mini 4 Pro. You know, and if I wanted to throw something out there that I don't say I didn't like, but I think could have been better, was the quality of that image when you would zoom in on it. Now, you don't necessarily see it, and this is something I want to caution everybody in the audience about, is when you're looking on your controller, okay, it looks okay on your controller, but when you're shooting the video is where that comes out, and you can see it's not as crisp and as sharp and as clear as like the Mavic 4 Pro and like the Air 3S, and that's because of that. And now this is going to get vastly improved, but be wary of that. You know, when you're doing these zooms, and that's something that I've said in my videos when I've done the zooms, is you need to understand, you know, when you're looking at it and seeing it on the controller and getting that closed up, tight up shot, which it looks good and it looks great on the controller, but when you drop the SD card in your PC and you take a look at it, it's not going to look, you know, like it does on your FPV view on your RC Pro 2. Okay, that's
not quite as sharp, but maybe pixelated.
Exactly. So be wary of that.
Now, Johnny, I know you're a big fan of zooming in, so this will be a big feature for you.
Yeah,
right?
and the Air 3S, it works best to me, especially at night on just 3 times. And if you zoom in anymore, it's spot on the 3 times zoom, especially at the night, because it doesn't have a true night mode like the Air 3 had a night mode. Air 3S does not have a true night mode. So, but yeah, it's the low light of this is going to be pretty neat. And that was a pretty neat feature right there. We were talking about that earlier on.
Yeah. DeMarco, do you like to zoom much on your drones? Are you a big zoomer?
I do. Yeah. But here, like with my Mavic 3, I'm constantly zooming in. I rarely take video or pictures with it though. I'm just zooming in just to, scout out what's out there too. And I know if you remember from about a month ago, I mentioned how my Mavic 3 was acting up with the zoom. I'm still having that problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it still doing it?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Because of course with the Mavic 3, with the Mavic 3, you don't lose as much quality zooming in because of the bigger sensor.
Yeah.
So wow. I hope you can get that worked out. Now, Bill, here's something. Johnny and I talked about this a little bit. I hadn't heard this rumor before at all. Have you, Bill? Portrait optimization. DJI's portrait optimization technology, the DJI Mini 5, enhances the brightness, contrast, and skin tones of portraits, whether it's a group photo or a spontaneous moment. The portraits look naturally radiant and more vivid expressions. The 48 millimeter medium tele mode further highlights the subjects with a realistic vividness. Bill, I've never heard a drone talk about taking portraits before. So this one kind of caught me off guard.
That's like
I agree, guys. That's something that's a total surprise on me. And well, I think it's really kind of easy to answer this question. I'll answer. What I'll say first is, a lot of people love doing the dronies, and a lot of people, like the meetups, like recently the New England drone meetup, and also, South Florida drone meetup. When it's near the end or in the afternoon, we usually send a drone out there to take a picture of everybody. All right. And a lot of people really like doing that. I know when I went to a college reunion, that's how I first got started with drones 7 or 8 years ago. Was one of my classmates, her husband flew drones, and he took a portrait of our class standing on the steps. And, this kind of makes perfect sense, due to the popularity of something like that. But that they had that enough thought behind that to make these adjustments to make a big difference in that. I think it's pretty cool. And I want to see how this works out. And also too, is there a specific, I'm trying to talk, a specific setting like on the Fly app that will do this? I mean, that's a big question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, will be a special mode. Yeah.
That's kind of like an app.
Now I know Johnny, you take a lot of pictures, of course, of the grandkids or whatever. If this had a portrait mode, that would be, I mean, not Bill's talking about, maybe the dronies taking them close and going far away. But I mean, when you're far away, that doesn't mean anything. But when you're up close, would this be something you would consider using?
Yeah,
If you
I
get
don't
good
know. I
shots
don't
of
know what that
grandkids?
is. I mean, I guess now and then, but that's really wouldn't be too important to me. I guess taking portraits with a drone when it's kind of like iPhone talk right there. That kind of language right there seems to me. But hey, I'm
DeMarco,
sure
you also you of course you have 3 kids that get a lot of pictures taken of. If a drone had a portrait mode, would you be tempted to take more pictures of them with a drone?
No. No, not because I would. No, mainly because they're too active with the stuff, like the games that they're playing. No, it's not drone friendly. But I can tell you this though. Saturday, the twins play tackle football, so I coach on the field with them. So I used my wife's meta glasses for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like awesome. I am hooked.
Oh, wow.
First time that I used them, doing something though. So
DeMarco, take them to the helmet. Take them to the helmet.
No. They were great. Picture looks great. I mean, I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
So
they had a couple
I gotta learn to use mine more. I forget to use them most of the time.
Yeah.
But anyhow, this feature caught me by surprise. And what I'm going to be real interested in review videos that come out Wednesday to see if any reviewers show this off and if it really works. And I mean, outside of taking a portrait of myself, I don't know who else wants me flying a drone in front of them, taking a portrait of whatever. It's drone guys. We may do it, but like, how many kids are going to stand still when you're flying a drone right in front of them? A noisy, buzzy drone to get this picture. So, but I'm still interested to see how it works out or whatever. Who knows? Maybe you'll see, wedding photographers taking pictures with a drone flying around a wedding at this pads out. I'm kind of just joking here, folks. But anyhow, I thought it was something interesting here. We've gone through a lot of stuff here, and Johnny's got a little V-Copter update. And I don't want to jump off the story yet until, we kind of hash this whole Mini 5 Pro. So, Johnny, DeMarco, Bill, if you have any other thoughts or anything you want to bring up with the Mini 5, what's hashed out before we jump over to the V-Copter?
Yeah, I think one of the things is, again, I want to repeat to everybody out there, there are some sellers here in the United States that are already advertising them, and it looks like they're asking $800 to $900 more than what the advertised price is. So, I would caution you guys away from doing that. Okay. I would investigate eBay thoroughly. And that one seller, I know Tom Dowling used them. And I think Michael Wright used them as well. The DW guy, I would look at him because he states very clearly that he absorbs the tariff costs. So, and as Tom pointed out there, and thank you, Tom, for doing this, he's not going to have that listing up until probably Wednesday morning. All right. So, if you're so inclined, be ready. And I can't say this enough. As soon as you see one out there, get it, because they're going to go really, really fast. I guarantee you that.
I agree, Bill. You know what? The guy, one of the U.S. sellers, not only is he charging you $900 more than I paid, he's charging you $22.95 for shipping. Just saying.
Yeah, and remember, you gain nothing by buying off the American seller in Miami. It's still not gonna. You're still not gonna be able to care refresh. You're still not really going to get any support because if you try to send it back for repairs, it'll never get back in the country. So there's no extra benefit buying off of somebody in the U.S. because as somebody in the U.S., it's just a small time reseller.
Yeah, and the other thing, be real careful. Check out these sellers in terms of how fast they will ship, and also how long they will ship. And also, too, if they give you the option, now a lot of people will just take the free shipping, but if you want to get it faster, if you pay $25 or $50, they can probably do 2 or 3 day. Because a lot of places, even South Korea, in Japan, will do UPS, will do FedEx. So check that out in the listing. And like I said, double check and see how long it takes for them to ship from the time that you purchase it. They may say 3 days. They may say, well, when we get the stock in. So, just be real
Yeah.
careful. Just do your homework when you're going out to eBay to buy these. It's super important to do that.
Good advice. Hey, Jim's droning in the chat. Jim, of course, Jim's up in Canada. He says on eBay he can get one for 16.19 Canadian and 81 for shipping. I don't know. I don't really know Canadians. I don't know if that's good pricing or not.
Well, I don't know about tariffs from Canada because I have no clue about that. And, a lot of guys, and I know some of our friends up north, Lauren and everybody, buy one off us and we'll send it back to you. But when it comes in, you have to declare it. Okay. You just can't say electronic goods or whatever on there. Okay. Because the customs will open it up. They won't hesitate to do something like that. So, you got to say exactly what it is. So you're probably going to have to pay a tariff on it. I hate to say that. I mean, that's what that's the name of the game.
Jim said that will have tax way too much.
Yeah, I think when you're buying it, up in Canada and having it shipped here, you're going to be paying a tariff on it. You might as well, like I said, deal with somebody from South Korea or Japan. It seems to be like a place where, and again, you want to check out their reputation of the seller. You want to check out their approval rating on there. And also, too, a lot of these guys, they haven't sold more than had 100 sales. So anything that's under 100 sales, you want to avoid because they really don't have a history. You got to, like I said, be super careful out there when you're buying these. Super, super, super careful.
And Lone Star's remind us, be aware you will not be able to get care refresh or any kind of service from DJI. And that's on whether you buy from South Korea, whether you buy from Japan, whether you buy from Miami. It doesn't matter where you buy from. That what Lone Star just said applies.
Right.
So
yeah.
And Eddie's got Eddie, of course, Eddie's sponsor for Ray-Ban Metas. A new Ray-Ban Metas dropping in a few days. DeMarco, new pair coming soon.
Yeah, I might.
Instead of getting the drone, he's going to get the Metas.
I thought they were new Oakleys, or is that the same thing?
Oh, yeah, they do have new Oakleys out.
They do it, yeah.
Richard's got some advice here, Bill. He says, don't order with seller feedback 0.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And Mike Wright received my order from store 13 through the FedEx. So, and what's Kai saying? Kai saying there are numerous third-party repairs for DJI drones. There is, and those guys are going to be real busy pretty soon.
Yeah, no lie.
Yeah, there are quite a few out there, and I know there's some even in the Tampa area that you can go to that will repair them. And I know one of my late friends, I took over his page after he passed away. Tom was his name. Ron, you know who I'm talking about. That's what he did on the side is he repaired them, and I'm in touch with his father all the time. And his father said unfortunately, he sold almost all the drones that he had to help pay for his son's funeral expenses. But yeah, there are plenty of these places out there to go and get your drone fixed. Do some research again. If you're doing that, use ones. And one of the things I can say without a doubt, use ones that use OEM parts. Don't use ones that use aftermarket parts if you can, if there's one available in your area. But do your research, do your homework on these, because if you don't and you get it, you send it to somebody, it may sit there for forever.
Thank you, Bill. Hey, Eddie Nunes had a comment. This is referring to the Metas. These are brand new models, Johnny, with new features. So I guess we got a new generation of Metas coming, not just the look of the frame, whether it's Oakley or
it's definitely. I think they said longer battery life and all of that.
So yeah. So anyhow, thanks for the tip, Eddie. And Under the Drone says, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That's an old one, but it's true.
Yep.
Now, Josh, he's not a fan of the Oakley style, but he likes to upgrade specs, hoping there's some Ray-Bans. So,
a bunch of people
Eddie, are the new ones only coming in Oakley? Is that what we're trying to say here?
I mean, does Ray-Ban own Oakley, or is Oakley is that their Oakley's not?
I think they're separate companies.
Yeah.
Oh, Coach has a question here. Coach 7703. Are we going to get them in the U.S.? Well, Coach, we're going to get them in the U.S. probably, but not through official channels. Is that the best way to say it?
You got to do You either got to eBay is the way to go for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and then this came out. We had reported this last weekend. Thank you, Angel. That's Drone Guy 42. I believe the DJI store in New York is doing repairs now. If somebody said that they'll do that, you can send them. They'll do all the repairs at the New York store in New York.
Yeah, Ollie said that at the meetup. Yeah, Ollie was telling us that at the Northeast Drone meetup. He was telling us about that.
Yeah.
And I want to do a real quick shout out. Ron and I had Josh on last week on Rotor Talk. You guys probably saw. And Josh was fantastic. Absolutely loved having him on. It's a great time talking about the meetup. I know Johnny had a good time, and Josh was just singing the praises of it. And I'm like, I told him, I said, you're a real adventurer. He drove all the way from like Western Pennsylvania out to the meetup. I'm like, wow, dude, that is a long drive.
He drove all the way from Western PA to the Florida meetup without.
Oh, I know.
Sleeping or whatever.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, John, I don't know how you did that. Okay, it's like for me, and we were talking about it last week. I'm like 3.5 to 4 hours at a stretch for me right now. That's it. I mean, I'm done. Yeah. I'm like, crispy.
If I drive across town or whatever, I need to come home and take a nap or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, on serious note, Josh says he had Aldi on the stream tonight on his streams at I believe is it 7:00, Johnny?
Deneen and Aldi was on there, yeah.
And he said that the New York Fifth Avenue is doing repairs of certified technicians and official parts. That's great news, right, Bill?
Yeah.
That is great news. I mean, they may even take like mailing it in kind of a thing too. You obviously would need to check with them first, but but remember, and that's something I think you need to understand. They are not official DJI. Okay, people need to remember that. Okay, it's not officially DJI store. Okay, they don't own the store, so they're kind of independent dealer kind of a thing. So, but yeah, that they use official parts and that they offer the repairs there. That's fantastic. That's great news.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when that may be all you have now. I mean, you going forward, Bill, you won't be able to be too picky if you need a repair.
Yeah. You got to kind of you can't pick and choose too much. So you got to be real careful.
Josh said they do mail-ins too. Okay, they do mail-ins in case you live nowhere near New York City.
Josh, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. That's fantastic news.
Thank you. Thanks for having Aldi on or whatever.
Yeah, I tell you what, Ollie is a very, very nice young man. I tell you what, he was a pleasure to be around. Him and Deneen, they shot the world's record for shooting videos and going out and film some places. I can tell you that. All they did was stop to eat maybe, but they shot some video.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to switch gears on us from the Mini 5 to another Mini. The ongoing saga of the the little Vcopter Mini drone here. We've kind of covered this, to the fact that, there was some kind of a battery issue. You were supposed to dispose of the battery and the drone, fill out the survey, and then they would ship you another battery and drone, in October, November when they had things kind of resolved. But Johnny, you called me end of last week around Friday with a little bit of information that was kind of shocking is too strong of a word, but I mean, it kind of took me by surprise. You want to share that with
as of September the 9th, your drone, I guess it's bricked basically, because here's what it sends you a message when you plug your drone in, the controller into your phone, it'll pop up and said, hey, this is it tells you about a battery problem, and so you cannot fly it with the app. It will not do anything. It won't even start the motors. You pull the sticks down, it just beeps. Now, I have an extra battery. Well, I have 3 batteries, but if you just put it in without the controller, you can actually still fly the drone. Of course, you can't, you're not using the app. But yeah, basically, they bricked it. Now, how did they brick it? I did have my phone on automatic updates, so I would say if there must have been an app update to do that. And so once you use that one battery, I guess it syncs it to that one, because I put another battery in without it, but I didn't plug it into the app. So yeah, they bricked it. Now, if you didn't update the app, maybe you can still fly it. So I'm not sure. I know Ray said he flew his after that date. So, but they're supposed to reship it. It says October, November. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the V-Copter is pretty well.
That's really, that's something we've never heard of before, Johnny. I mean, that's really something. DeMarco, what's your reaction to them kind of bricking that drone?
Whew. I feel for you, buddy.
This is what it said right here. Yeah, due to a risk in Falcon's mini battery design, please stop using the device and discontinue charging. And so when you hit confirm, it would send you to that survey, which I already filled out. So basically, it's telling you it's a recall and that you can't fly it. So
you gonna send it back or
no? You keep it. I mean, you could hang it on a wall.
You're supposed to dispose of it.
Yeah,
it'd be a nice paperweight.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. Or have it on your shelf.
You can hang it on.
Bill, what's your reaction to this?
My reaction is GoPro Karma Part 2. Oh, I mean, really. I mean, it's just okay. Well, I'm going to go back first. What Johnny has said a long time ago, that people need to remember that this was a $200 drone. Okay.
Right.
Johnny had laid a great point with that. Johnny, that was spot on. Okay. People really got all bent out of shape about this, and you need to remember it's a $200 drone. I mean, I just had a Holy Stone 360D something or other. It's not even really out on. I was the first video out on YouTube on that, and that thing was a natural disaster. Okay, I had another Holy Stone that flew well, but had limited range. This one had great range, but it was like this all over the place. Okay, so. I mean, that was a natural disaster, and it's a little over $200. But people were thinking they wanted the world out of this, okay? Because they saw the first V-Copter. It was pretty decent, okay? But it wasn't $200, okay? So this one's $200. So a lot of people dove right in to get this, okay? It's like, why not? Take a chance on it kind of a thing, okay? And some of the, Johnny, I was impressed when I saw Johnny's first video from this, and I'm like, okay, they got something here. This is a good thing. And then all of a sudden the cavalcade of, I know Ron having problems. I think Michael Wright was having problems. And then, it just started that snowball going downhill. And it's just like, it reminded me of GoPro. It really did.
But I don't know if they ever had a company like recall the whole drone and resending it. It's pretty, I mean, you could say it's, the error on the side of, I think it's something to do.
I believe they did recall the GoPro Carbons.
Oh, did they really?
They didn't tell them to destroy it. You sent them back. Yeah, they didn't tell they destroy it.
Yeah, but hey, we'll see. It's I personally never had no problem with mine, but I mean, I think it's some kind of battery or problem that's is making something. Because Ron, we talk on the Facebook group of the V-Copter. Not one person has ever even said anything about a battery. Or anything. So I don't know. It's got to be something to do that's internal. That's the battery is hurting the drone, or the drone is, Yeah. I got to take a call real quick.
Oh, good. Bill, it's definitely the drone story of the year, right? I mean, I mean, and it's not over yet because the final chapter hasn't hit yet when the drone comes back in October, November. So I've never heard a drone story like this before.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll go, and I'm sorry, I'll also go with, I know Marcus thinks it's a FEMI is a 4-letter word, which it really is, okay, and, on all the travails that they've had, and, and like, my experience with Holy Stone, and some of the other ones that are out there, okay, that are just, Hubson, I'll just throw that name out there as well, too. I mean, there's been a lot of just pure whatever out there. And then this is the first. I mean, it's like, it's mind-boggling, Ron, that they had this bad of a problem with it. And, I don't know if it's going to ruin their reputation. They're going to have to, like I said, they're going to have to make good on this promise of getting new ones back out to everybody and new ones that work. So you don't, like you and Michael Wright having to jump through hoops to get the dang thing, registered and flying. I mean, my gosh. I mean, it's like, even, I'll go with the example of the Sky Rover, which I got. It's like boom, boom, boom. It's connected. It's ready to go. It's up in the air kind of a thing. you don't want to
Right,
have these kind of
right.
problems, Ron. You don't.
Yeah. But I mean, it's such an interesting cuisine. The $200 price bucket, like you said, you flew a drone, was horrible. For $200, if you actually once you actually got the Vcopter Mini flying, it actually flew pretty good. You know, it didn't fly
Yeah.
terrible like your typical $200 drone. It actually flew okay or whatever. And then just when things are looking good, I mean, and I have to give him credit. If this was some kind of a cheaper, more of a cheaper, I don't know, cheaper, but more of a lower drone company, they would never even do the recall. They would never admit there was anything wrong or whatever. So you have to kind of hand the Vcopter for, even though they're like selling $199, they're stepping up like a big company and actually telling you that, your drone's not safe and to get rid of it, and we'll send you another one out. I mean, I've never heard of anything like that from what I call a budget drone.
You don't hear that from Holy Stone.
I mean, the Karma's a whole different story. No wonder the Karma did that, because the Karma, they were charging $1,500 for that drone. They need to do all that, but these $200 drone company, I was kind of surprised they did that. I mean, I give them kudos for it though, Bill.
Well, and one thing I got to say on this too, okay, is remember this was Indiegogo or whatever it is, that crowdsourcing place that handled all this. All right. Yeah. And my thought about them, being able to do all these replacements was, I think they made a lot of money on it. All right. Yeah. Above and beyond what the actual cost of the drone was. So I think they're probably able to do something like this without it really hurting the company that owns Vcopter.
Zero.
It's probably not. They're probably not going to have to dip into their budget too much to be able to do something like this.
But Bill, I think if they produced a bunch and, of course, replace the ones they sold and have some ready to go to Amazon the same day, pretty much, I think they still have a little niche to sell some,
I do too.
Johnny, you made a good point. Johnny made a good point all summer. They probably dropped the ball in this thing. With DJI drones being hard to get or whatever, you have to go get them on eBay from somewhere.
Yeah.
If they didn't have the Vcopter Mini out, not if they didn't had it ready to go on Amazon or whatever by the middle of the summer or something like that or whatever, $200, they would have probably sold a whole bunch of them.
Absolutely.
You're not replacing a DJI drone. You're just having a unique drone experience and kind of getting back to the unique experience of flying, and I think that's what the Vcopter is.
That was Johnny, a great point,
I put out to Bill. I said, like a lot of the sub $200 drones, like Bill said, he got a hose that didn't fly good. The little Vcopter, it actually flew. It didn't fly like a $200 drone. It flew better than that. So that's what it had going for it. Right. It actually flew good for a budget drone.
Well, I think, and this is just me, I think probably what happened here was, I think it got rushed. All right, and I think that's probably where they ended up, that they probably cut some corners and they probably cut some quality assurance. And, of course, there were some units that got out that worked well, like Johnny's. Okay. And then like the kind that Ron and Michael Wright got that just wouldn't go for anything. Okay.
Well, it wasn't, it was something that was, I'm not saying that they were doing something wrong, but it like Ron, the biggest gripe was Ron did what it's told him to do, how to calibrate that thing. And it said that it did it and it didn't. That's a whole nother problem, because when you did that mid-servo calibration and it said, okay, well, hey, you assume that it's good. Just like when you do a compass calibration, if it says, okay, well, you assume that it's calibrated.
And just like the cow's calibration, when I did the servo wrong, it should have said it failed.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I got an update here, DeMarco. The Houston was winning that game. Oh, he got a visitor. I'll wait until he got his visitor. DeMarco, you back?
Yeah.
You won't believe this. Houston was winning that darn ball game, and in the last play of the game, Baker Mayfield makes a miracle falling down touchdown pass, and Tampa Bay pulls out at the final gun.
The Bucs win. Yes.
But Houston was winning though for a long time.
I wasn't watching either. So
Baker made a highlight reel touchdown at the end.
Hey Ron, I gotta hop off. I got something I gotta take care of. But thanks
for coming on.
Hey,
Johnny.
I do want to wish
be the first to order the little Mini 5.
I do want to wish Cheryl Kelly, Ray's wife, happy birthday today. So.
Happy birthday, Cheryl.
Happy birthday, Cheryl.
All righty. Thanks,
John. Hey,
Hi, John.
Ron,
Thank you.
I have to do the
Johnny,
same thing.
we'll see you Wednesday morning for the launch party, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yep, send you the
Ron,
invite.
I have to do the same thing. I have to put the crew to bed.
You got to
so.
roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, DeMarco. Good night.
Yeah, Bill.
And
Good night,
thanks,
DeMarco.
guys.
Great
We'll
being on
see
the
ya.
show tonight.
All right, guys. Have fun. See ya.
All right, Bill. It's just down to us two now. So
Just us,
the only story I had in the list was, I know you're not an Apple guy, but today is the day Apple released all their new OSs. And what they did this year, they had different numbers OSs. Like some things were on 18, some were on OS 12. So just to get everything on the same page, everything is called OS 26 now, because it's
Okay.
25. So they renamed everything OS 26, whether it's computer, iPad, phone, watch, Apple TV.
To make it in sync, that makes sense.
It all became available today, and they got this new interface they call liquid something. It looks like, everything's on liquid in the screen. I haven't downloaded anything yet tonight because the very first day the servers go crazy with Apple. So I'll probably wait till
that's
tomorrow.
smart.
Yeah. But this stuff's been beta tested all summer. So usually this stuff releases without much hiccups because they've been beta tested.
Do you know anybody that's going to get the 17?
I don't, probably I just forgot. I just got the 16 Pro last year, so I don't upgrade every year unless it's some whiz bang feature.
Right.
The most attractive one is, Bill, they came out with an Air, like a real thin Air model, and they didn't scrimp on the features. It still has the same processor that the Pro has in it, and it still has like a really good screen. So again, we thought there'd be a heavy compromise to go for the thinnest phone ever, or they didn't compromise that much. It's still kind of a premium phone on a real thin form factor. So that would be, I wouldn't go generation 1 up, but maybe next year I'd look at the Air 2.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I just, it was funny. I went out there and I saw Eddie. Eddie was trying his best to throw Samsung under the bus. I love that. I love seeing his, Eddie. I love those posts. That's fantastic. But no, you know what? And this is just, I'll just say this. I was told in no uncertain terms, like when Valerie and I first got married, we were doing iPhones then, and I got her first iPhone. And I started her. Okay. She had never had a smartphone before, so I got the ball rolling with her. And now she that's her go-to. She told me if we switch back from Android to Apple, okay. She asked me if I had my affairs in order. I said no, we're not going to do that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's just like each one has their own benefits.
Yeah. Just stick with what you know. Here's something. Too bad Marcus isn't here today, Bill. Marcus always has the video where he's out flying with one of his budget drones, and he has to use his iPhone. He doesn't have a built-in screen, and his iPhone always overheats, and he can't see the screen for most of the video. Well, now the new Pros offer some liquid cooling system in it, which says that's going to greatly reduce that overheating and screen dimming that Marcus always complains about. So
I had that happen with an iPad. I had that happen with an iPad. My iPad shut down on me. I was flying a Phantom 4 Pro, and my iPad shut down. And thank God it was already coming back, already on return to home. So I didn't have to do anything. But wow, that was a real kicker on that.
And iPads stay longer than phones do because, of course, they have more vents that disperse the heat. So the iPhone's still better than the phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, the problem, and, this is kind of what he called first world problem here. Look, thank you, RJ Ready. Liquid glass. I know it was liquid glass.
Something. Yeah.
This is kind of a first world problem for drone reviewers. We're drone reviewers. Like, we have to stand out in the middle of the video. We're the star of the video, so we have to stand out in the video, and the iPhones overheat or whatever. But in real life, if you're not a YouTube drone reviewer, you don't stand out in the sun and phone. You stand under the shade of whatever fly the drone, and the iPhone's fine. You know what I mean?
Well,
so it's kind of
I got a real good lesson from our good friend Billy Kyle. Flying from inside the car. And I'll tell you what, Ron, especially in Florida, okay, it's like, Billy, thank you for that, because that has just changed my whole perspective on flying in Florida, especially in the summertime. I mean, it's just like, nothing beats having that air conditioning, and I have the sunroof. I can look out. I keep an eye on it the whole time, so there's no problem with line of sight or anything like that.
Well, I do that kind of all year round. When I do a real estate job, I just pull up, aim the front windshield at the house I'm going to do. So I'm seeing the whole thing perfectly, sitting in the front seat, whether it's hot or cold. I'm in the car, air conditioning, heat, or maybe if the perfect day, I still have the windows down, but the heat, the sun doesn't, hit the screen. I don't have sun reflections. I always fly inside the car when I'm doing a drone job. I pull up and face the car, park the car right. I'm facing the house I'm shooting. I always fly inside the car.
I made this prediction last year, Ron, and I think it's going to happen. Sooner or later. You will. The only drones you will buy will have. They'll be like the RC2. You'll have a built-in screen with a controller. I mean, it's just gonna be the way it is, because using your phone has been and I got to tell you this, from having to do that with the Holy Stone and downloading the app and everything, and then I had the Sky Rover because I got to do it with the Sky Rover too. It's a pain in the butt to do that anymore. Hook up the cable and all that kind of good stuff.
The problem is if you're a budget drone maker or whatever, you try to save every darn penny and putting in the screens or whatever, you're going to lose more customers by charging too much for the product than you are gaining customers for people that don't want to use their phone, if you know what I'm coming from,
Exactly.
People,
I agree.
You and I are coming from more expensive drones. We say that because we're reviewing them and whatever, we're paying more for our drones. But if if you could only afford, say, $200, $300 for a drone or whatever, and the screen docks it up $50 to $100, you can't afford it more. You got to look at that from the person who's buying these budget drones. That's their only drone. They're not drone reviewers. They don't have DJI drones. That's the only drone they have, is that budget drone, because that's all they can afford.
I agree, Ron. That 100% with that 100%. Yeah.
Somebody was saying, I moved it already, that the iPhone Air won't be so small in a outer box, but the Apple also announced they have some kind of a shield thing. I forget, the shield's the word, but they're going to have the toughest protection of the glass ever. Like, it's twice as strong as what they have now, and it's going to be the strongest on any phone, is this protected coating they're putting on this protective glass. So you may not need those gigantic otter boxes anymore.
Wow. So that's pretty incredible. That really is.
Yeah. So I think we've kind of covered it all here. It's nothing's really going on anymore. We're kind of on hold now. We'll be on tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and maybe we'll have some more leaked details.
Yeah, maybe we'll have some more to pass on to you guys about that.
Yeah, we'll probably know a little bit more by tomorrow, because Bill, the closer it gets, even up to the last couple hours, you get more and more stuff. So we'll probably know more in 24 hours from now on your show tomorrow night.
There'll be some more links that will come out tomorrow during the day. We'll see some more things. We'll probably get some more official box pictures, I would think. That's one of the things that I don't think we've seen a lot of, like the side of the box that lists all the specs and everything. I think we'll in the front, in the back, and everything. I think we'll probably get some of those. And who knows? We may see a video or two come popping out tomorrow too. Maybe an English language one. Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna happen. So, but you know what? One of the things I'm kind of waiting on, and this is in line with that, is the Nano, and when that's going to be coming out. That's one of the things I want to talk about tomorrow night. I'm kind of curious because, our buddy Jasper has talked about that, and Igor as well, because a lot has been leaked out about that. And I would say that's imminent. I would say within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, rumors were, of course, it was coming out, end of August, early September. And then the rumors was it got pushed back behind the Mini 5 Pro. They wanted to get the Mini 5 Pro out first.
Yeah, they're anxious to get the Mini 5 Pro out.
Right now, they think the Nano will come out sometime next week.
Yeah, I agree. And and another thing
they need to get it out, because Insta360's already got a month jump on with their version of the Nano.
Yeah. One of the other things that I want to add for everybody is if you can and if you can find them, get extra batteries for your Mini 5 Pro if you're going to get that. I mean, if 3 batteries are great and it's great runtime, but if you want to have more, and some of these overseas sellers do sell them as far as accessories are concerned, go ahead and try to get them. I mean, who knows? You may be able to even buy something like that off the DJI website. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing that out there for grins and giggles.
And if you have a Mini 4 Pro already, you have a whole bunch of batteries that too.
Yeah,
hopefully
you may
there's
have
rumors about battery compatibility. True, you may already have a bunch of backup batteries.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of folks that have Mini 4 Pros, they may not elect to sell it. They may get the Mini 5 Pro and keep the Mini 4 because it's going to be their backup drone, so they can't get anything in the
makes perfect sense to do something like that. It really does.
Especially a backup drone that uses the same batteries, same controllers. It really is a backup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So we're excited. I mean, we know a lot of details, which we usually do. I mean, I'm not excited about the availability, but it is what it is, and that's the only way we're going to get drones going into the future here. Hopefully, we can still get them through these routes going forward. I mean, we're down probably where after the Neo 2, we don't know if any other DJI drones will ever get FCC approval again here.
That's true. That's very true. So, and I've already seen inklings out on my group that people were talking about buying 2 Mini 5 Pros and just keeping one in reserve.
In the box, yeah.
If you can afford something like that, if you can do that, because I know I've actually seen people that have gone out and get the creator combo for the Mavic 4 Pro, and then they went ahead and they bought just the Mavic 4 Pro, the basic package with the controller by itself, just to have it. I mean, just to have it as a spare. I mean, if you can afford it,
and you get an extra battery that way too. Yeah,
exactly.
And you get an extra battery too. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Like I said, if you can afford it, go for it.
Alrighty, Bill, I'm going to let you go. Guess what? The Chargers are up 3-0 already, so we're right on that prediction so far.
There we go. All right.
Almost minutes after the start, they were already up.
Sounds like a good football night.
Yeah, that first game we missed that first game. That was a real. I mean, it was just back and forth, real close the whole game. That was probably good for ESPN's ratings tonight.
Oh, I'm sure of that. Well, you know what happens? Publix has a sub. It's a Buccaneer sub, all right? And it's a lot like the same sub that they call the Panther sub for the Florida Panthers, because they sponsor the Florida Panthers and the Buccaneers. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, what's really funny is, they don't sponsor the Tampa Bay Lightning, but they sponsor the Florida Panthers. Go figure. I love it.
That is good. Yeah.
I love it.
All right, Bill, I'm going to let you roll. I want to thank everybody tonight who joined us in the chat. And don't forget to join us again at 8 p.m. tomorrow night and 8 a.m. Wednesday morning or whatever to see this whole release through here. And, so, again, thanks for all the support. And thanks, Johnny and DeMarco being on it. And don't forget Marcus sailing through the Mediterranean, hoping he passes a DJI store at some point.
Yeah, I've been, and like I told the guys when I logged on, what you really see is my background from Tampa, but I'm really up in Idaho right now. Marcus is having me look after all his toys, so I took his Corvette out today for a spin. Just making sure it's staying okay.
You kept it under 150, so it was okay.
I sure did. I was real good, and I used my seatbelt. He said he made sure that I practice safety first all the time with that.
Yeah. Good night, folks. We'll see you
tomorrow.
Everybody.
See you tomorrow night.
Let me find his end button here.